of it. I've been in ministry since I was 16. I won't tell you how old I am, but it's been a
Still
little
look
bit.
16, man.
You can roll with me everywhere now, yeah. And I think about one of the things that we saw as taboo was counseling services. We didn't think that. We go through stuff and we just deal with it within ourselves. And I love the fact that Love No Limits has the opportunity for us to get the help in our community because it is necessary. You know, I wish there were a lot of things that I wish that I could have gotten help for, mental help for in certain areas of difficult things that I had to go through. And it's being offered for free for our community.
Yeah, and I think what's so significant about what you said is, like, people think, and I grew up that same mentality where it's like, if you ask for help, it's a sign of weakness.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm sitting here going, no, asking for help is the greatest posture and position of strength. It's awareness of need. It's saying, I can't do it on my own. I can't figure it out on my own. I'm not good by myself. And so when I think about, everyone right now in America, everyone in Houston, man, we've experienced some sort of trauma, whether we've experienced it firsthand or it's connected to a friend. There's people dealing with PTSD. There's people dealing with physical abuse. There's people dealing with anxiety and depression. Let's just be honest. We went through 3 years where that has been amplified and exaggerated. And when you think about getting actual real professional help, the challenges are, one, how am I going to get there?
Right.
Man, I got babies, I got jobs, like I can't leave what I'm doing to drive to a location. That alone is an expense. And then second, it costs real money. And the beautiful thing about what we get to do with you guys here is, hey, we get to alleviate those two pain points. Number one, you don't got to leave your house. With BetterHelp, you can do it online. You can text your therapist. You can call your therapist. You can email if you don't want direct response from your therapist. And then, of course, the second barrier is it costs real money, and we're able to give a month away for free. That's 4 professional therapy sessions virtually, however you want to do it. And if you're a low-income qualified individual, you get up to 3 months for free.
Wow.
And I'll tell you, I'm married 17 years and started counseling last year, like being honest with our audience. And man, I wish I started sooner. And I didn't want to do it, not because I didn't need help. It was just like, this is expensive, And I mean, here's the reality. The sessions I've done, which I think we've only probably done 4, have given me tools. Like, it's not like you have to go to therapy for the rest of your life. Sometimes it's just one unlock, one perspective shift, or basic tools to go, here's how I deal with trauma, anxiety, issues, a marriage crisis. So for everyone listening right now, you can go to 1DayHouston.com/BetterHelp. 1DayHouston.com/BetterHelp, and you can sign up for free therapy right now, or you could text in the word better to 855-777-3131. That's 855-777-3131, the word better, and you can start your sessions today.
I'm keeping you for a little longer. That's cool.
Yeah.
We've got a lot more on the table to talk about. I'm excited about this. Love has no limits. It's going to be a great day with 1 Day Houston. We'll tell you about a couple of great dates that we want to keep in mind. Norman Hutchins reminding us now that God's got a blessing with your name.
You're listening to Faith and Fame with AV.
Church Beyond Sunday, Love has no limits. I'm excited about 1 Day Houston. It's going to be an awesome time. We're looking forward to it. Of course, April 29th, April 30th, get an opportunity to serve out in the community, doing great things here in the Houston area. And then a big day celebration at the Toyota Center, of course. And man, I'm excited of what Love Has No Limits is doing. And I thank you again for joining me this morning to kind of give us insight to this, because there's so many moving parts to it. There's so many things. And like we talked about, not only the mental health aspect, making sure you get counseling, and people have an opportunity to come. When I was growing up, man, going to the doctor was expensive. Going to see the dentist, a lot of us couldn't afford to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
But with Love Has No Limits, I know it offers these services and an opportunity to get help in the community. I'm not only a fan, man, I'm just excited about being involved.
Let's go, man. Thank you. Yeah, I think what's exciting is, on April 29th, 50,000 volunteers, and everyone listening is invited to be a part of, I don't know, this might be the largest volunteer moment in Houston's history outside of a crisis, right? Outside of a natural disaster. And as I've told so many people in the city, hey, we've done this before. We unite in crisis. Man, no one comes together like this city.
Right.
But now we don't need a crisis to come together. Now we have a cause.
Okay.
And that cause is uniting with anyone to do good and no one to do wrong. It's basically Frederick Douglass 101, right? And it's amazing when we set aside our logos, our labels, and our egos to unite with something bigger than ourselves. So that's 50,000 volunteers. But it's not just about the volunteers and what they're doing. It's the fact that hundreds of thousands of people, like you said, can come get practical service.
Yeah.
You know, so that week, you know, people will be able to go to the landing pages and see every location around them. There's about 200 we call serve centers, hubs of service.
I like that.
And you'll be able to see, hey, at this location, I could go we actually have medical brigades. I could go get free medical treatment. At this location, there is dentists there, and I might need cavities pulled, and I don't have dental insurance.
Right.
You know, we have a location where they're going to be giving prescription glasses away, and then there's going to be GIK distribution and beautification projects and rock cleanup. So it's not just about what you can do to make a difference, but if you're listening and you need hope and you need help and you need some of these practical services, there's going to be a spot for you where you can get the things you need.
I like that because you said 200 different spots, hubs, services being offered. We don't see that. We don't get opportunity to see
like
that.
1,000 different outreaches, you know, like 1,000 sports clinics, back to school bashes, beautification project. You know, we partner with the city of Houston, which has been awesome, and they've just given a list of every need they have.
Yeah.
Like here's every issue from our urban garden projects to graffiti issues to parks that need to be restored, and we're going to tackle this.
I've worked in the Parks and Recreation Department, so I knew a lot of the areas and the communities that need that help. And I remember one of the greatest joys that I had being a part of a ministry was we went out and we cleared out a bunch of vacant lots, cut the grass, pick up trash, and it made the neighborhood, the look of it changed that quick. And I remember as a ministry team, the joy that we had just cutting grass.
So,
you know,
the generosity of, or the experience of being generous to somebody.
Yeah.
You know, it's this life-giving experience that everyone gets to be a part of, and it's never been easier to make a difference. You know, I know there's a lot of people worried about Houston has beautiful things, and we got real challenges.
Yes.
You know, we got an issue with violence right now. We got challenges in our high school. We got challenges with the next generation, and we got a lot of families in crisis.
Yeah.
You know, and at the end of the day, we have the ability to empower families in crisis, and really, I'd say start solving some of these problems at home before they become problems in our streets.
Right, and I love it. The fact that love has no limits is out in the community. What we should be doing. It reminds me of church with no walls, no limits. We just gonna go out, and it's about services. Because remember what Jesus said: "I was hungry and you fed me not." We're great at preaching sermons, but what about the services? Because that part of ministry and love has no limits is about the service to the community.
Yeah, and I think it's as simple as just loving your neighbor. I mean, if we were being honest, if everyone that had a faith in Houston right now or in America, right, just started loving their neighbor. If maybe you took, maybe it takes you 30 minutes to drive to church and back. And if you would just take back 3 of those minutes and walk across your street, knock on your neighbor's door and say, here to help. You know, what could I do for you?
Yeah.
How could I serve you? How could I be a great neighbor to you? Man, this city would change overnight.
Just like
and
that.
that's what we're activating at scale. It's getting people off their phones, out of their homes, and back to helping humanity.
I like that. Off your phones, out of your home, and back to helping humanity. You're gonna hear that again. So I'm gonna use that. And of course, what's the text code? I know it's better.
Yeah. If you're listening, you know, we got this incredible opportunity for anyone, any age, any financial situation to get free mental health therapy. You know, BetterHelp's our largest online provider of therapy in the world. 26,000 therapists.
Yeah.
And what's so cool about it is you don't have to leave your home. You can text your therapist, you can call your therapist, you can email if you don't want direct interaction, and it costs nothing. You know, we want to give millions of dollars of free therapy away. So if you're listening, break the bank. You can text BETTER to 855-777-3131. That's BETTER to 855-777-3131. Or you can simply go to 1DayHouston.com /BetterHelp.
All right. I got to keep you around one more segment. Can I do that?
Let's do
Because
it.
I know the audience changes. The radio, it changes, seems like every 15 minutes. Thank y'all for rolling with me the entire show, but it changes and changes. So we're going to come back and talk more. I appreciate it. This is a wonderful conversation. Ken and Lewis and one voice from your local Houston BMW Center Studios. It's Faith and Fame with me, AV, all powered by the Silver Lake Church Beyond Sunday at 1865 Cullen Boulevard. Love has no limits. We continue this wonderful conversation. Man, where do you get your name from? What is your name? I feel like you like one of those superhero characters when I say your name,
Jedidiah. Jedidiah is in the Bible once.
Yeah,
so David had a son, King Solomon, and a prophet shows up and said, "Your name's Solomon, but I will call you Jedidiah," which means beloved of the Lord. But I always got people being like, "I learned that in Sunday school," and I was like, "No, there is no flannel graph board story around Jedidiah. The puppets never talked about Jedidiah. You know,
we say no big story,
right?
Just quick and to the point.
One verse.
Yeah, and the love that you have for the not only the people of God, but just people in general speaks volume. Just sitting and having the opportunity to sit with you in the studio and just talk about not only what Love Has No Limits is doing. We're getting ready for this wonderful event here in Houston, and all of my Faith and Fame listeners get an opportunity to come out and serve alongside 50,000 volunteers. But it's just so many different aspects of services being offered, because you and I talked about this. When Jesus says, "Listen, I was hungry, you fed me not. I was in prison, you didn't come see about me." The importance of service. Right. You know, twofold, we get an opportunity to serve and to be a volunteer as well.
Yeah, and I think for everyone listening, the cool thing is it's never been easier to make the difference in someone's life any day, you know. So if you don't go, you won't know. And I always tell people we have an opportunity to either read history or make it. And if you're listening right now, you don't have to be a spectator on the sidelines. You can actually enter into the conversation and help make history. And that's what April 29th is all about. 50,000 people setting aside their logos, their labels, and their egos, uniting with anyone to do good, no one to do wrong. You know, there's going to be all walks of life, all political positions, all different ages, all different, I mean, everyone will be represented, right? The city will be represented. And the only way you can get access to that stadium celebration at the Toyota Center is through service.
Right.
It's a new social give back model. You know, you can't just post something, you actually have to do something. And you can't buy a ticket to the event. You can't get in any other way unless you're willing to sign up, join the team, make the difference in someone's life that day, whether it's at a sports clinic, a medical brigade, a beautification project, a back to school bash, so many different things happening that you could be a part of.
Like I said, you know, I'm a fan not only of giving back as far as the beautification of our communities. One, we talked about with the dental services. Two, because that was a tough sticking point for us growing up. We could not afford it, you know. But thanks to Love Has No Limits, we have an opportunity for that to be taken care of, and the mental health aspect. That's right. Because for us growing up, counseling was taboo, and I just have to be honest. Carried a lot of weight, a lot of frustration, a lot of anger. Carried a lot of stuff for years because I didn't know how to cope. And I thought if I went to go get counseling, I would be deemed a little off.
I think one of the strongest statements we could say, man or woman, is I need help.
I need help.
I need help.
Yeah.
I need help. I mean, and I'll just tell you, man, we weren't created to do life alone. There's nothing about this journey on this planet called Earth that was supposed to be in isolation. And this is an opportunity for everyone listening to go get best in class professional therapy at your convenience. On a phone, you can text your therapist, you can call your therapist, you can email your therapist if you don't want direct communication, at your pace. And of course, therapy costs real money. And with our partnership with Praise 92.1 and really BetterHelp, we have the ability to give tens of thousands of people in Houston right now professional help for absolutely no cost. You can go to 1DayHouston.com/BetterHelp, and you can start your free therapy now and get the help you need. And I'll just tell you, someone who's done counseling, you don't realize how much you need it until you started. You have no idea until you actually started. And it's just one of the many things that people have the ability to take advantage of to really just be the best version of themselves, get the practical hope and help they need to be the hero of their homes, their community, their city, and in this country.
I love it. So it's going to be wonderful. We're looking forward to April 29th or April 30th, where you can be a volunteer. Of course, as we've already said, volunteering is your way into this concert celebration, but more so give you an opportunity to get help in the services that you need as well. Better is our keyword. And of course, you can also text that short code better to 52140. That's 52140. Listen, man, I done kept you a long time this morning. I appreciate you hanging out with me. I know you have to go over to our sister station, but you got to promise me you have to come back, because it's so much more on the table that we have to talk about, lay open, and get into conversations about what you guys are doing with Love Has No Limits. I'm a part of it now. I'm in it.
Let's go.
I'm down with it. And
go.
I'm looking forward to it. And the day's gonna come. I'll be sharing real quickly. I'll share real quickly what I'm going to be a part of, because I want to do a couple of things. I want to move around. Anybody knows me, and even Boss Lady can tell you, I'm going to move from one thing to the next. That's me. I got to be tied up and everything. So we'll be cutting grass, and I might even turn it to the dentist if y'all let me. I don't know if it's possible. I don't know if it's possible.
I think we're safer with you touching the tables and not our teeth. I think it's really dangerous if we go that route. But I would love to come back. And listen, I just want to see everyone listening there. Like, don't miss out on this moment. We're about to drop our artist lineup, which is going to be exciting.
It is.
In LA, it was Justin Bieber and Chance and Tori Kelly and Carrie Job and Chandler Moore. And we're going to be announcing those very shortly. You want to stay tuned to Praise 92.1 or go to 1DayHouston.com to find out that information. But you do not want to miss this show. I can tell you that.
I might perform myself.
Let's go.
Look at you laughed at that. Thank you for coming on Faith and Fame with me, AP. I got talents, man. I don't care what you say.
You're listening to Faith and Fame with AV.
Thank you all for continuing to be a blessing to everyone.
Powered by Silver Lake Church, the church beyond Sunday. Houston's inspiration station. Praise 92.1.